without further ado, it is the greatest hockey YouTuber of our time, Jakes Takes Hockey. Welcome, brother.
It's me. It's your boy. You already know who it is. Yeah. What an intro. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic.
Having fun watching the game?
Yeah, I mean that second period was it was a little bit tough. It was weird because it's like it felt like there wasn't a lot happening, but a lot happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out notable things that happened, and then finally something happened at the end. So that was nice to see. Connor the Gargoyle Garland gets it done.
I mean, the Canucks really listened to Dustin from the first intermission there and came out flying because they kept Washington for the longest time. There, Washington was stuck at only the 2 shots in the period. So I mean, They got a couple more. Washington ends up with 4 shots. Vancouver had 21 shots in that period. So clearly, the boys were listening to the stream, and Dustin was right, wasn't he?
Yeah, and that surprised me because it started feeling like one of those games where it was going to be like where they just kind of stay mellow the whole game. So it's really nice to see them actually ramp up and not go down that path where it's just a boring mayhem of, they're trying, they're doing something. And it was just a matter of time until a goal was going to go in because they really started pressing there.
It seemed like they were, I don't know. It's one of those things. Sometimes you feel like the team has a book on the goalie because it seems like, I don't know if you saw this either. It seems like the Canucks are trying to go like low glove side on Thomas. Is that something you've been seeing so far tonight?
I haven't noticed that, but I probably just didn't pay attention to that. I noticed that with Soros the other night, go on the blocker side with the shorter goalie, but I haven't been paying attention enough to see that tonight.
But kind of weird, how hockey works. The Capitals score at the very end of the first period, and the Canucks score at the very end of the second period. Does that give you confidence the Canucks can score at the end of the third period?
I sure hope so. I hopefully before that is what I would rather go for. But you know what? I think hopefully they'll come flying out this next period and start playing, their Canucks hockey, like how I know they can play, right?
We've got a new guy in chat, Alan. Alan saying, fellas, loving the Millsy and Wilson action. Yeah, it looks like Wilson and Millsy have been going at it all night. Do you love to see that kind of thing?
I love this game. I absolutely love this game. I love seeing the Canucks with that little bit of feistiness. I think I heard Shorthouse say, Capitals are one of the bigger teams in the league. The Canucks are consistently always a hard-hitting team this year, so it's fun. I really enjoy. I love Sherwood this game. That's one player I'd like to point out. It's just he's just out there just going nuts, and that's what we brought him in for, right? Is to have that edge on him. So yeah, it's been a fun game to watch on that aspect for sure.
17 hits for the Canucks, 15 hits for the Capitals. So yeah, there's a lot of hate out there. And how does this hate these teams never play each other? Like it's twice a year, and all of a sudden, right from the beginning of the game, it's just like, I hate you and I will cause you pain.
Yeah, no, dude, I was seriously wondering the exact same thing myself because I was like, there's absolutely zero history between these two teams. Like what, like they don't meet up in the playoffs. They're on the East. They play 2 times a year, I guess, right? So yeah, I have no idea where this is coming from. It's just, but it's, you know what? I think Vancouver needs it with like all the talk and bad things going around Vancouver right now. I think it's good for them to get their anger out on the opponent right now. So it's a lot of fun to watch.
And probably just in general, good to see JT Miller playing in that second period because he did get that looked like a stinger or something running to the boards there, but seems to be no worse for the wear coming into that second period.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I really did not want to see him out, so I was very relieved when I saw him out there right away to start the second there.
So we're watching part of history here because Alexander Ovechkin obviously chasing Wayne Gretzky for the overall scoring lead for the entirety of the NHL. Only 23 goals behind him. He's got 19 goals so far this year, and he did miss, I think it was 10 games. So he's only played about 30. That puts him on pace. Do you think Alexander Ovechkin has what he needs to score 23 goals before the end of this NHL season?
Realistically, no. But I would love to see it. I mean, it's going to happen now. We all know that. But I wouldn't write it off. Like he's a weird player because last year where it looked like he was starting to finally slow down. It was just like, okay, it's finally happening, and then he's just Alex Ovechkin again. So I don't know, man. He might do it this year. I wouldn't be surprised.
Lefty all around says hello.
Hello. Howdy doodly.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is that Ovechkin has been scoring a really good clip. Like before he got injured, I think he was on pace for like 45 or 50 goals or something like that, which would have put him on pace to actually break the record. So I think me and Dustin chatted a little bit about it. And it's one of those things where I think if he had not got hurt, I think it was pretty much a sure thing he would break the record this year. But obviously being an older guy too, you think he's probably going to slow down as the season goes on.
Yeah, like I said, to be realistic, I don't want to get my hopes up. I guess you don't know this, but Ovechkin is like my favorite player of all time. I think he's absolutely unreal. So I'm so excited to see it happen, but I'm just to not get my hopes up. I think I'm gonna say he'll do it next year at some point.
Yeah, and he's gonna do it against the Canucks because that is the way of the Canucks. We get scored on by all the big milestones.
Yep, that's how it goes around here. We get used to that around here now, don't we?
Speaking of your favorite players of all time, Sprong has been placed on waivers by the Seattle Kraken. Should the Canucks pick him up?
I didn't know that until you messaged me that, and I'm like, oh, very interesting. I guess that didn't work out over there, eh?
No. Do you think maybe the future considerations the Canucks got back for Sprong should just be Sprong?
Could you imagine? That'd be awesome. Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, why not? Get him back in here. I love Daniel Sprong. I would love to have him back. Give him another go.
I think he only had like maybe 1 or 2 goals for them, and obviously kind of playing the same way he was for the Canucks with a real lack of the defensive awareness. So, I mean, it's one of those things, right? They tried it out. It's not working. If he clears waivers, he'll go down to their AHL team, but I don't know if there's any teams out there that are going to take another chance on him this year, because that would be his like 7th or 8th team in his career.
I think Vancouver should take him back. Honestly, I really do. Because now I know he's not a locker room cancer, because that was something that was swirling a little bit, but it is just the defensive liability. Because obviously Seattle wouldn't take him back if he was a locker room guy or a bad locker room guy. So I'm like, so that's not the problem. So it's obviously just a coaching thing. I think like I don't know. I wouldn't see why not to give him another go. You know, like I know it would be really weird. Like I don't know if you'd ever see that in the NHL where they're just bouncing back and forth. But I would love to see him back personally.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna pray for it. I want it to happen.
I think you just like saying his name in your videos.
I freaking love Daniel Sprong. I freaking love him.
So when we were chatting about today's interview, we were talking about the Miller and Petey debate, and you said that you had a couple hot takes that you wanted to get out into the world. Can you reveal that to the viewers right now?
Yeah, so like I don't know. This is just me thinking out loud. I kind of mentioned it in one of my last videos there, but I was thinking like if one of them does have to go, not saying that that's going to have to be the case. I was thinking like I really like Miller's contract, and I'm not a huge fan of Pettersson's contract. And like if you were to get rid of Pettersson at that 11.6 mil, couldn't you pick up like 2 really good pieces and then also get a good trade return from that as well? Like I don't know. I'm just
it's possible.
Like it's you know, like you could probably get a first rounder, another centerman, maybe a defenseman, and then you open up that cap space, and then why not go out and get a couple more? You know what? Jake DeBrusk, makes around $5 million, right? You get a couple of him, you know?
Yeah. So at 11.6, I think it's one of those things where I feel like the Pettersson contract will age well because the cap is due to go up next year. And it'll probably go up a couple times through his contract currently right now. And I mean, what is the max salary in the NHL right now is what, like 14.5 or 14.6 or something like that.
Yeah, I think Draisaitl's up there, isn't he?
Yeah. So if you look at it, next year the cap goes up another $4 or $5 million, and suddenly the cap maximum is about like $15-16 million. And then, you know, McDavid re-signs for $16 million, and you know, Quinn Hughes re-signs for $16 million or whatever. Suddenly $11 million is looking a little bit better. As long as Pettersson can continue to produce at the same clip that he has been, which is about a point a game, then I think it ends up being good. The other aspect too is just like Pettersson is so young and his numbers for his age are so good that I think the huge worry is we're going to pull another Cam Neely and end up having a guy go have a Hall of Fame career with somebody else, right?
Well, and the problem with this situation is if you get rid of either of them, you're gonna regret it no matter what. It's that's why like the best scenario would be like they just figure it out. And I saw it somewhere. It's like every team has players where they don't like each other. It's just it just got public here. But I'm wondering if it's a bigger issue. There's a whole Bo Horvat thing and all that. And that's the other thing I'm saying. So I'm not saying get rid of Pettersson because I don't know what's going on in that locker room. If JT Miller really is that big of a problem, he's got to go. If it's ruining the dynamic in the room or if it's making everyone second guess every move they're doing on the ice because they don't want to get yelled at by their teammate or something. But I don't know what they're gonna do there. But I just thought I would put my take on there. I would be personally okay letting a guy like Pettersson go and try and see what we can get for him.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I think there's like a no trade movement clause or something weird like that, but it doesn't start until next year. So I think this is the time. If you were to do it, you would do it now, something like that. But that's it.
I think it's one of those things, right, too, where I think you would end up regretting it at the end of the day because no matter what part you're going to get back, I think they're never going to be as good as what you're going to get from Pettersson at the end of the day. And I think that's the worry. I mean, if you're saying, okay, we're going to push for a cup right now, and by making this trade, I think that can put us over the top to be winning the Stanley Cup. But I feel like this management group has a little bit more of a longer view of what this team is going to be. And I think they're trying to map out like the next maybe like 4 or 5 years well. So it'll be interesting to see if I think at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that Miller and Pettersson are going to stay on this team. I don't, like you said, I don't think the Canucks can win a trade for either of them. And so I don't think this management group would make a trade that's going to hurt the team.
I don't think they'll rush to do anything, right? Like I don't think they're like, oh, we have to get rid of someone right now. So like they're not pinned up or anything like that. I could definitely see it being where they're just like, hey, you guys got to work it out, and you just got to play together. But I don't know where I stand. Like a couple days ago, I thought, okay, for sure one of them's going, and then now I'm starting to think, okay, maybe they will just work it out. So it's a weird thing going on there, but hopefully it's not too much of a distraction right now because the Canucks really need to get it going right now.
Well, I think there was an interview on Sportsnet today. Ian McIntyre interviewed Thatcher Demko and kind of asked him about the situation, and Thatcher said, like, if we're winning, nobody even talks about it. Right. The only reason that this is even being talked about in any way, shape, or form is because the Canucks have not been winning as much as they were last year, right?
That is actually a very good point. You only start talking about these things, when things aren't going the way you want it to go.
Yeah. And because Jeff Patterson can't stop talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
So you had, like I said at the beginning, you had a brand new video came out today. Can you tell the viewers why they should go over and click on your channel to watch the video from today?
Well, they should go over because my last 2 videos are doing really badly. Yeah. So it'd be really nice to, get a couple more views. But you know what? Like, I usually just do mostly Canucks content, but my girlfriend actually pushes me. She wants me to do more like NHL stuff. So it's just top 5 defensemen in the NHL. And it's just a quick slide. It's for you if you're eating Doritos on your couch and you're just curious on what's going on, who's the best defenseman right now. That's a good video for you to watch.
Any sneak preview? Like, do you want to like tease it or spoil it at all? Or like, I mean, obviously I got to assume that Quinn, I mean, I watched the video. I know Quinn Hughes is on the list, right? He's number 1. He's got to be number 1, right?
Yeah. I will say I'm shocked that Zach Werenski's on that list.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was playing good. Like I always knew he was a good player, but like is Columbus good? Like no, they're not, are they? Like it's that just makes no sense to me. But it's like, but good for him, But like that's a good little sneak peek. He's on there somewhere, but it really shocked me.
Yeah. So you're gonna be doing a video for tonight's game?
I think so. I am sick, but I've been sick for like 2 weeks, it seems like. I have all day off tomorrow, but I think I might do it early in the morning, actually. Since I already uploaded a video today, I kind of got it out of my system. I think I just want to enjoy dinner tonight with my girlfriend, and I'll upload it in the morning, most likely.
Well, I wanted to say before I let you go that I have been very much enjoying your content lately. I feel like you've taken your production to another level. I love the intros. I love the fact that you're putting your face on it. And just generally, they're just fun, right? And I think me and you talked about this where, I mean, like I said, I'm going to try and get Diener HD on. He does hockey summaries. You've got Knuckhead, who does his weekly ones. You've got Eck. You've got all these guys, and they do very serious, very Sportsnet-like suit and tie kind of analysis. But the way that you do it, I love it because it's fun. It's a little more lighthearted, and like I said, the videos you've been putting out over the last couple of weeks, I've been very much enjoying, and I know you've been crazy busy at work, so the fact that you've been able to pull off these high quality videos, I wanted to give you props because I've been enjoying them a lot.
Thank you, Matt. I actually really appreciate that because I think because like I said at the beginning of the year there, I started out in the preseason. And it took me a bit to figure out a good editing style, and I think I've got it now. I think I've got a really good system, like you said, with the intro. Now I show my face at the beginning. I do a comment of the day, and then it's like a quick snippet of the game, and then a good conclusion at the end. And it's perfect right now. So I think I'm finally at a point where I really like the production that it's at, and it was kind of nice at the beginning when I wasn't getting a lot of views because I was still trying to figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
But now I'm really happy where I'm at.
I don't, are you doing shorts these days, or is that something you've done in the past?
No, that's something I've never tried ever. It's something I'm kind of would be thinking about looking into, but I probably should. I think if I took some time to do some, because I lay on my couch for like 10 hours a day sometimes on Instagram Reels.
So you might want to get some of that Instagram Reels money
for that.
All right, brother. It's been a pleasure having you on for the second intermission. Are you expecting a big win for the Canucks to finish things off?
I sure hope so. I came into this game with a lot of energy for some strange reason. I just felt like this was going to be a crazy, awesome, good game, good win. So I'm just going to hope that they just I didn't get excited for nothing, hopefully. It'd be really nice. Hopefully it doesn't go to overtime. I'm really tired of watching overtime losses. So let's just pray that doesn't happen.
Awesome, brother. Enjoy the rest of the game, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Nothing is perfect.